Hello there, how are you? Hope you're having a good week. I'm Liam Haddock and welcome to another edition of Worth the Buy here on Bearded Budget Media. Now, this week we're looking into a cult classic. I mean, seriously, I was mocked by friends in high school for liking this film, yet if you search it now, it's revered by cinema fans.
This sort of thing is my bag, baby.
This week we're taking a trip to the future, learning the divine language and saving the universe. This week we're plunging into The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
Just want to say thanks for watching, and if you enjoy or have enjoyed any of my work, please leave a like, comment or subscribe. Maybe let me know what movie or TV show you think I should cover. At its basics, it's literally a classic tale of good versus evil. A more detailed summarization is that it follows former Special Forces member turned cab driver, Corbin Dallas, played by the perfect level of giving a shit and not giving a shit Bruce Willis. Falls into the government's attempts to save the universe, which also aligns with Priest Cornelius's beliefs of a superweapon to destroy evil. It is essentially the perfect sci-fi fantasy mix, as in, it's got the sci-fi weapons, ships, hover vehicles, those sort of things, but at the end of the day, the villain is a mythological being of pure evil, with the Fifth Element being the MacGuffin of good. Think of it more like the One Ring, the Infinity Gauntlet, or the Death Star plans. If the Death Star plans were another Death Star to destroy the first. But yeah, story is basically good versus evil. Seriously, where do I even start with such a vast, varied and vociferous film? How about its look to start? So even with its look, there's a lot to unpack. The world is amazingly crafted and it feels lived in. Things happen, they exist, and there's not an explanation for it, you just see it. I mean, look at the Chinese takeout that Corbin orders. Literally comes to your window and cooks it in front of you. No need to explain it, it just shows it. It's that classic mantra for visual media. Show, don't tell. And good God, this film shows. Whether it's the ships that have been clearly designed with functionality over form, I'm looking at you military ships, the world is as wondrous as it appears. It's also lived in and grungy, even corridors look worn. On top of that, you've got the people populating the scenes, and there's something different about it. They're unusual designs, futuristic outfits, but more unusual and impressive than your average sci-fi action comedy fare. Oh yeah, that's why the costumes were created by Jean-Paul Gaultier. I mean, that's a next level choice from Luc Besson, and it really pays off within the film. From all the background characters to your main cast, everyone has amazing outfits. Add in some amazing practical masks and costumes for a variety of aliens, and yeah, to say it's got a unique look is a massive understatement. Not even finished with how the film looks. It is shot beautifully. Every frame looks great, and with the pacey editing and use of cuts showing things happening at the same time, it just flows nicely. The CGI, on the whole, does still really stand up, considering the film is nearly 30 years old, which again just makes me feel really old. It's really impressive. Don't get me wrong, the end result of the alien transforming isn't the best, but at the same time, the blend from human face to alien face still looks really good. I mean, limits of the time, I guess. But for things that don't necessarily look great, you've then got a plethora of other scenes that look absolutely next level. For example, during the Diva Dance, which was filmed on green screen, not only is the planet outside the window, but there's reflections of the opera hall on the windows looking out over the planet. Just wow. Musically, the scoring is fantastic. Each piece fits its scene perfectly, and all whilst being both amazingly varied, but also so recognisable as a piece of music from this film. Created by Eric Serra, including the absolute banger that plays over the end credits, Little Light of Love, although he did collaborate with the opera singer Inva Muller for the Diva Dance. Now that I've mentioned the Diva Dance, time to talk about it. Hands down, one of my favourite scenes in any film. Literally gives me goosebumps listening and watching this scene. No matter what's going on in the household, if this is on, everyone stops and pays attention. That mix of opera, synth and dance music is incredible. The cuts within the scene make it spectacular, bouncing between the crowd's honest-to-God reactions, the opera, and the story as it's happening makes for a few minutes of pure and absolute cinematic perfection. The casting in the film, too, is near perfection. Whether it's Bruce Willis as Corbin Dallas,
That's a very nice ad.
You like it?
Milla Jovovich as the Fifth Element, which, who knew she could portray such an innocent face with such wonder in her eyes while stealing the director from his wife.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
Multipass.
Multipass.
What has to be one of my favourite performances from Gary Oldman.
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
Alright Gary, I've got this. Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg.
My favorite.
He chews every bit of scenery he can get his hands on.
Look, it's easy. Look at my fingers. 4 stones, 4 crates. 0 stones, 0 crates! Pack everything up, we're at it!
His accent is ridiculously villainous, and his outfits, well, if I'm gonna be a villain, I'm styling myself on him. Also, I do think it's the only time a soul patch has actually been a threatening piece of facial hair.
A little disappointed.
Ian Holm as Priest Cornelius, again, was a wonderstroke of casting. He plays a learned man in over his head fantastically well.
He's a she.
You noticed that, huh?
Yes.
Tommy Tiny Lister as the president. Next time I remembered seeing him was in Little Nicky, weirdly enough. Let's not forget a character and actor that seem to be polarizing even with fans of this film. Chris Tucker as Ruby Rhod. I don't get the hate for it, to be fair. I think in this ridiculous world that Luc Besson has created, it needs someone like Ruby Rhod, that larger-than-life showman.
Oh my god. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing. Oh my god. Corbin Dallas is in trouble.
On top of an amazing main cast, even smaller roles are filled with surprises. Whether we're watching the captain from Red Dwarf getting McDonald's, British stand-up comedian Lee Evans as a crew member.
Hello, Mr. Steve. Fogg. Welcome to the. I am. Security. I am. Welcome to the.
Our major star at the time, Luke Perry, being only in the film for a couple of minutes right at the beginning.
Hey, Billy. I have a gun!
This is a film that back in the day divided critics and fans alike, even though it earned over 3 times its budget following its release.
Oh, so you are merchants after all.
A lot of the critical praise call it for what it is, its campy style and its richness of imagery. And yet other reviewers seem to have a problem that it's a sci-fi film made by Europeans. Seriously, Todd McCarthy of Variety called it a largely misfired European attempt to make an American-style sci-fi spectacular. I mean, talk about a short-sighted statement from Todd there. Even reviewers at the time called out Chris Tucker, with someone referring to him as the summer's most outrageous special effect, and Total Film listing Ruby Rhod as number 20 in their list of 50 performances that ruined movies back in 2011. Yeah, I personally feel if you look at this film and see the love it has online, it's clear people have grown to love this film. I mean, just search for reaction channels covering it and it says a lot. Well, there we have it, another worth the buy of film that regularly isn't streaming. The best thing about finding The Fifth Element out in the wild is that you'll often find things like the 2-disc special edition or special edition Blu-rays, which will come with some amazing behind-the-scenes featurettes and things that any fan of the film will likely thoroughly enjoy. I've been Liam Haddock. Catch you next time.
I know she's made to be strong. She's also so fragile, so human. You know what I mean?